Welcome to another Words Don't Apply episode of CannaBase Radio Show. I am your host, Johnny Chaos. With me always is my co-host, Brian.
Yeah.
On today's episode, we are going to talk about the Killdozer.
Hero, legend, myth. No, real.
Happened. It was on the news.
Not a myth.
We're going to talk about no electricity, like right now.
Oh wait, that was this one. Okay.
Yeah, that one. It says right now, right next to it on the board there.
I mean, it's like no electricity happening immediately right now. Not as if we're doing this topic right now.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. You were going the other way on it. We're also going to talk about underwater homes, and there's a lot of involvement of if we lived underwater.
I want to ask you, how would you rectify an underwater home?
Ooh, all right. So you want to start with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
so let me hit this joint really quick.
All I'm imagining is, I think her name is Sandy Squirrel from SpongeBob. That's all I'm thinking of, is like a dome.
Yeah, Sandy Cheeks. Yep, and she lived in a treehouse.
I didn't know she had a last name of Cheeks.
Yeah. She's from Texas. She's great at bull riding, and she's friends with a sponge and a starfish.
How did she rectify her house?
So they never actually showed it on the show, I don't think. But
how could
you do it? So what I think happens is they take and they build a bubble, like a dome. They drop it down into the ocean, right? And it fills with water, but there's like an attachment piece that you connect a hose to that's like a bilge pump that pumps all the water out of it. You know what I mean? And then also doubles as an air duct to get filtered fresh air into the dome to be able to breathe and
shit.
shit.
How are you getting fresh air? Like a big old tube to the surface? Are we just building this on the coral reef? Like you don't have to go too far from the surface?
No, it's just like if you know there was a city underwater. You know what I mean? We all lived underwater, like that just happened to be the normal thing.
I have a theory.
Go for it. What's your theory?
That Sandy was a squirrel sent up in space by NASA as an experiment.
And then her capsule.
Yes, and she had a rebreather.
So she used NASA technology from her failed mission to space.
I mean, that's one smart ass fucking squirrel.
So she's an astronaut. I can guarantee you she's not hanging around with 3 friends smoking doobies.
I mean, you know, you don't know.
We all make bad decisions in life. And being an astronaut sucks. Fuck that. Choose this one.
No, but like, if you lived underwater in like a dome, how would you smoke weed? Like,
through the gills that I evolved underneath on my what is it, behind the ears in
Waterworld?
You
wouldn't actually live in the water. You would live in domes.
I know. I was just making.
You know what I mean? Like, what's that show?
I was just calling out Waterworld for being a shit.
What's that show? Sea Lab.
2020. It was made to be in the future. I think it was Sea Lab 2020.
Or was it like 2021?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It'll be that was supposed to be the future.
I just know they all lived like in a lab underwater, which was essentially a big ass bubble.
Oh, I had the impression it was like it's called a Sea Lab. Did they show it? Yeah, there was a whole bunch of domes, huh? Yeah. I never really watched the show.
They were all pretty much connected.
Yeah. Like a fucking. I feel like every underwater thing has been the same. Like, I'm thinking of Atlantis, like versions of how they've made it. Atlantis, which doesn't exist.
Oh no, they said it exists on Mars now.
I am so stupid. Why didn't I think Atlantis disappeared out of the ocean into the sky and went to Mars?
Right? It didn't sink. It floated into outer space, landed on Mars, right? And then sank on Mars.
Way more sense.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
God. It's just that, like, the Earth was about to teeter, so they had to fling something off because it's flat, so they flung off Atlantis and landed on Mars. What are the chances? That is a stupid-ass idea. I don't know how anybody... Like, they're seriously saying that they're like, jetted out of the water then because it's so technologically advanced. Fuck that. If Atlantis ever did exist, which it didn't, it fucking sank and was destroyed or some shit.
I mean, I would view Atlantis as like a Greek city that fell off into the ocean, like Venice in Italy. Like how that's sinking.
Mm-hmm.
Every year it sinks a little bit more.
I really want to go there.
Well, you better go there before it's all underwater, man. Otherwise, you're going to be having to take, like, sub-tours.
Dope.
It's going to be
That'd
expensive
dope.
as shit.
Okay, so that's how you build an underwater home. Is once the city floods, all you do is dome up the tunnels, clean them out, you filthy bastards. Those things are dirty. The tunnels in Venice are fucking disgusting. Like, they've cleaned out one because they needed to get to some drainage or something. They found the world's crazy, like a whole bike and shit.
Dude, it kind of reminds me of that one movie, As Above, So Below, where they're in the catacombs in Paris.
Yeah, I like that movie.
I do not remember that one, but I want to fuck with the catacombs on a guided tour.
So
Nope.
basically what it's about, because, like,
Hell no.
it was basically a burial site for, like, a whole bunch of people back in the day or whatever. But basically, these people go down into the catacombs and shit, and
That was the funniest line to have gotten caught on record.
I don't know if it caught it or not. They sound pretty quiet through the mics. But
Sorry for interrupting.
anyway,
That was
so
hilarious.
basically they go into the catacombs and it basically takes them into hell or whatever.
Yep.
It's like a portal into hell, and then they find the way out miraculously by the end of the movie. Spoiler alert if you've never seen it.
Wow. That's the best spoiler alert.
Right? I don't give a shit.
You ever seen, I guess this fits in with a disaster movie. You ever see Independence Day? You know that movie where the
That
guy
is-
goes
yeah.
and flies up into the mothership at the end
Yeah,
and kills
that is
everyone?
a disaster
Spoiler
movie.
alert.
I mean, everybody knows. Everybody's seen it.
I haven't
You
seen
know.
that movie. I have no idea actually what you're talking about. And if it's as old as fucking Independence Day, it doesn't matter.
It's
People should have
not
been able
as
to
old
see
as
by now.
Independence Day, but it's like, I think it came out in like 2010, maybe.
Okay.
So it's fairly old.
Okay, so how about the movie 2012 that you brought up? You reminded me of that John Cusack one.
Great movie.
Fucking stupid.
I thought it was a good movie.
What was
man.
his career? What was his career before the whole thing? And then he becomes a fucking action hero. Fuck you, John Cusack.
He was
You're an
a-
every guy.
I think he was a limo driver.
Exactly like my. Oh yeah, because he had to use his awesome fucking stunt driving skills in a limo to avoid.
Yeah, right.
Fuck this.
Like the ground was all breaking apart, like at the
Dude.
airfield or some shit, and he was just driving over everything.
If that fool like used to be a professional getaway driver, and then now he's like, I'll just drive limos, chill, and calm down. That would be different.
I
but
mean-
he's just like, gotta get my kids.
Look at Jason Statham in the Transporter.
Jason Statham is believable though.
But he's always just driving around, man.
John Cusack's a guy. He's just a dude walking. If you saw,
Which makes it so much better because it's like, hey, I could be that guy. You know, versus Jason Statham, who's just a straight badass, and you see him and you're like, man, I'm never gonna be that guy.
okay, but like, if you're in a disaster situation and you're like, fuck, I don't really know what to do. I can either go this way or I can go. Oh, hey, there's a guy. Oh, it's just John Cusack, and John Cusack's all, follow me. I'll take my chances. You're just John. What, you sell newspapers? Like, I don't.
So what, you're just like caught in the middle between John Cusack and Jason Statham, and
No,
you're like
no,
right in
no.
the center, and they're like, come here, Brian.
No Jason Statham.
Come here, Brian.
No, that's an obvious one.
Come
It's like
here, Brian.
saying, do you go with The Rock? You know, or fucking John Cusack holding a radio up, trying to get his girlfriend back. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so what I was saying is in a scenario of go off blindly into the abyss and not knowing what's ahead of me on my own, or go follow John Cusack. I'm going alone. I'm just going to see what happens. I'm a Trejo without the horse, you know?
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I would probably steal everything John Cusack has and then go on my way.
Why? Because he looks like a punk bitch that you could take over, see?
A little bit.
You're proving my point.
Ah,
Shout out to John Cusack. Yo, if you ever want to be on the podcast, though, bro, let's burn one.
he's probably sitting at home listening to this shit, and he's like, fuck you guys.
Hey, not a disaster movie, but it's super dope after riffing on John Cusack's unbelievable performance in 2012. 1408 is a dope.
Oh, man.
That's a.
I feel like that was a disaster movie. In its own right. Like,
Mentally.
yeah.
In a way, I guess.
Yeah. Like 23. Like
the
a
number 23?
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Jim Carrey.
I guess so, yeah. Psychotic breakdown is a disaster. Have you seen speaking of choosing The Rock in a scenario like that, have you seen that, the San Andreas one and the Fault Line or something?
That's the movie I was thinking about the other day.
watch?
Was San Andreas, because we've been sitting at home watching disaster movies, like we talked about a little bit before the show tonight. We watched Dante's Peak,
Okay, that's super
Pompeii.
old school. Who was that again?
Pierce Brosnan,
Yeah.
and the chick who played John Connor's mom
Okay.
in Terminator.
Damn, that's her claim to fame is...
Terminator.
You can't even say... What was her real name? Laura? What was the John Connor's mom's name? Fact check, please. Can you... can't remember either.
Damn.
Because she had that... There's literally a whole movie about her being hunted, and we can't remember. They made a TV series about her.
Yeah.
Sarah Connor?
Sarah Connor.
That
That's
does
it.
sound right.
Yes, that sounds absolutely 100% right.
I like the question mark at the end.
You're over here like, Lana?
Watch you come out, it's all Jennifer. And we're all, oh, like just same exact response.
Yeah,
Yes,
Sarah Connor.
that sounds better. Yeah. Fuck it. I have no excuses. There really is none. Okay, so I've only seen parts. I think usually the beginning. I feel like they started watching it in high school or something, like some class of Armageddon. But I really don't remember watching the end. I have no
Of
idea.
Armageddon?
Yeah.
Oh, so basically, wait, should I tell you this?
Fine
Since you
ass
haven't seen it?
Liv Tyler? Is that her name?
Liv Tyler? Yeah, it's Steven Tyler's
Gorgeous
daughter.
ass. Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
Hmm?
Bruce Willis?
Yeah,
Yes.
Bruce Willis was in it, and Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
That was when he was younger, huh?
Yeah,
And the other guy, he was in Wedding Singer, the drunk brother.
Steve Buscemi.
Yes, there you go.
The funny looking guy.
That guy was
See-
in it too.
To all the people listening out there, if you think you're not pretty enough for Hollywood, Steve Buscemi made it.
Google him, and he did a good job. And
You-
he was not cute.
I've said his name and someone's all, is he the one with the teeth? Yes.
Yep.
Does he have the funny eye? Yes, you know who I'm
Yeah.
talking about. He made it, y'all.
Crazy Eyes from Mr. Deeds.
It's a fucked up name. Wonder if they wrote the role for a certain actor in mind. Yes.
There's your
man.
pizza, Crazy Eyes.
You know what, though, to his credit, Steve Buscemi's a great actor. I mean, he just looks funny. He's actually a really great actor.
No,
He's,
he is a great actor.
He's diverse, too. Like, he can do a whole bunch of different roles, even if they're small. But it's just like, he's in this movie. And
So,
yeah, I love seeing
Steve
Buscemi
Buscemi
show up.
directs the show that Stacy and I watch called Nurse Jackie. He directs that show. His
Is that
brother,
Carmela, right? Carmela from Sopranos? Eddie, something with a G. Eddie, the actress? Nurse Jackie? Does she blonde, short hair,
Yeah.
pilled out?
She's
Yeah.
on Sopranos?
Yeah, she was the main dude's wife.
Oh, I didn't
She
know
had
that.
long hair, and she was always like, she was smart, but she didn't know what was going on in Sopranos, and so then at the end she started like getting more involved.
I've only seen the first episode of Sopranos. I never watched the whole thing.
I loved The Sopranos.
I never watched.
I want.
Yeah, I've never
watched
actually
it.
seen The Sopranos.
Because it is good.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Okay, so the main character of the show is not the Godfather, and you see by like I think spoiler alert. If you haven't seen him, you can stop listening. No, it's like season 2 or 3 until he finally gets to be like the actual person in charge. Like for a minute there, he's kind of making the decisions, but he's not technically Godfather. And so it's a really awesome show.
I feel it. Yeah, but
But
anyway.
then I love mafia shit.
Yeah, so Steve Buscemi directs the show Nurse Jackie, and his brother.
Eddie Flacco. No? Falco?
I
God.
have no idea. Anyway, Steve Buscemi's brother is actually in the show, and his character's name is God,
That's funny.
and he's like what is he, like a hobo or
Yeah.
something? But he believes that everything belongs to him, and
He believes that he's God.
yeah, he believes he's God.
So is his name God, or he calls himself
No, his
God?
name is God in the
Like-
show. Everyone calls him God.
Because he tells them to call him God, though? Like, I can do that, too.
Like, they walk up to him and they're just like, hey, God.
Yeah, it's called a nickname. I'm searching this shit.
Yeah, there was an episode where he was doing, like, a chalk painting in front of the hospital. And they came out and they told him, they were like, hey, you can't do this here. We got to move you somewhere else. And
What's the
So-
first actress's name on Nurse Jackie?
Eddie Falco.
Eddie Falco.
yeah, so anyway,
Blockbuster knowledge for the win.
so she took God somewhere else where he could finish his artwork. And she's like, I'm so sorry you have to, she was like, I'm so sorry you have to start over, God, on your art. And he goes, it's cool. He goes, it only took me 7 days to make the world.
Nah.
Yeah.
Lame.
Hey, he said it, man.
That's lame.
It was funny in the moment.
I feel it. I'm not gonna give that fool a fucking dollar. Is he a bum? Did you guys say that he's fucking just a character? I don't know why I went to a bum
I'm still
like
not
God
really
would.
sure yet, to be honest with
Probably
you.
on mental disability.
Yes.
But if God really did want to embody a person, wouldn't he be like a bum to see what people would do?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like I don't disagree with that at all.
I mean, he did weird shit in the Bible, right?
Yes.
So why can't he do it now?
So what if one of them YouTubers that are trying to make that like social kind of moves towards a bum and they give him the money? He's like, bitch, I know you're doing this for likes.
Like, if you were really doing it for kindness, you wouldn't film it. You would just do it.
Exactly.
He just goes and buys fucking black tar heroin to see what they're gonna do about it.
All right.
That's what's cool about Keanu Reeves. He makes donations. to
Yeah,
a
he
lot of
just fucking
places.
helps people and doesn't
He
tell
never
anybody
alerts the
anything.
media.
Yes.
Like, he has donated so much shit. He never alerts media because he actually really cares.
We're not actually going to talk about the Matrix film, but he made so much money off those movies that he bought all of, he bought the whole crew Harley Davidson motorcycles, and he donated the rest of the money to charity. He didn't even keep any for himself.
I'm gonna say not any. He just kept like so very little. I'm sure.
Well,
he didn't straight up give it all.
No, I'm sure he kept, enough for his finances and shit.
Of course, but no, he was he was extremely generous. And actually, after that, people were all saying he's like the nicest dude in Hollywood. And then now, after the John Wick thing, they show. Have you guys seen all those pictures that he takes with the girls, where they zoom in on his hands and he's never like touching
Yeah,
them?
he never touches
He's like always
his fans and shit.
Yeah, he's like standing next to two girls, and you can just see like around the sides of their body, you can see his hands are just out, like not.
He's not trying to
groping
catch.
them.
Yeah, he's not trying to
Have you
catch any
seen a picture
charges.
with his real girlfriend?
Yes, and everybody was like making hella insults about her, and
Keanu Reeves' real girlfriend. She has her hair gray. She doesn't color it, and it's short. And she's the same age.
I think she's
as
younger.
him,
I
maybe
think they
by
said she's
a
like,
little bit.
but she looks noticeably older than he is.
I just thought he was dating an older lady.
But the thing is, they also say Keanu Reeves doesn't age. Remember the whole vampire thing where there's all these pictures from back in the day of people who look like
I
Keanu
mean,
Reeves?
obviously
But
you
they
can
made
tell
this
that
big
Keanu
thing.
Reeves'
Oh,
face
Keanu
has
Reeves'
changed.
girlfriend doesn't care about
But
coloring her hair.
I wouldn't believe if he's like an immortal by some standard.
And that just shows you that.
Which
Keanu
is why he's
Reeves
like
is
so
not
kind and,
a shallow, egotistical man.
Yeah, Keanu's definitely not shallow.
Yeah.
That's why it's cool. It's like, and the fact that he didn't even like make her a thing. Like, he didn't want to bring her out into the public because he was probably afraid of this. And then, is it because they're engaged or something, or is it just?
No, it's just because he brought her out. Like, she doesn't have her hair colored, it's gray,
Yeah.
and she looks her age. And, like, people made a big thing about that. It's like,
Yeah, that is silly.
yeah. We're all gonna get old and wrinkly. Like,
Unless we our faces full.
hitting bottles on the table. I just calls them like I sees them.
All right. Let's flip a next topic. What's up on the
Let's talk about
agenda?
no electricity, and I want to go the route of what would happen if an EMP hit right now and just destroyed all electronics on Earth. Like, what would happen?
Would that prevent a generator from working?
It was
Anything
short
electrical.
circuit.
Anything electrical.
I would, I guess the first thing would be obviously shelter, but anything flammable. You need to make fires.
True. So,
You
like,
know?
what is it?
Everything. Gasoline, tanks, kerosene,
Yeah. fucking-
acetone.
Well, see, you're saying all the other things.
I'm
that
saying
I'm
all
not
the
thinking.
alcohols that Stacy can't fucking drink in the apocalypse.
All the ones that you're going to take from
What are you
Costco.
trying to say?
I guess this isn't the apocalypse, but not having
No, but
electricity
it's like,
will
okay,
fuck up a
so
lot
have
of
you
people.
ever seen the show,
Big time.
what was it? Revolution?
Nope.
Okay, so
I wonder if
basically,
the mic is powerful enough to pick up me drinking.
yeah, I heard it a little bit.
Sick.
Anyway, so the whole show is about how an EMP went off, and now there's like nanobots and shit, but like there's no electricity, so everybody's back on foot and shit, and
Like the nanobots still exist, or the EMP happened because of the nanobots to kill them all? What do you mean?
it happened because of the nanobots.
So now there's no more nanobots.
No, there are nanobots. It's
Nanobots
fucking-
made the EMP
it's
to kill everything but
confusing.
themselves?
You just have to watch the show to completely understand it. But the whole basis is there's no power, and basically it's like the olden days where everybody has to walk everywhere, ride horses and shit, and they have to fight each other with
Yeah, with
swords and-
flamethrowers.
Fucking
Yeah, whatever.
nanobots.
Are they not nanobots? What are they really? I mean, you say nanobots, I'm thinking of some micro,
Yeah,
Government related.
yeah,
big time.
yeah. It's a really good show. Look into it. It only had like 2 seasons, I think, and then it got canceled, which really
kinda
upset me.
sounds
but
like
it was a really
just-
good show.
It sounds like an expanded Black Mirror episode, to be honest. But then again, that's kind of why I like the Black Mirror episodes, is because they're just short, unrelated, and, you know, like they can do whatever they want, not knowing that they don't have to make any answers.
Also, if there was no
Why would I be
electricity, if
black?
there was an EMP right now, nobody would even be listening to this shit.
Hold on. I actually asked the same question. No, I'm sorry. I did not ask the same question of why has it got to be a Black Mirror. I asked why is it called Black Mirror because I didn't understand, and all the episodes are so.
They're over here like, that's racist.
It's like it's so random because the show never really explains anything, and they won't. No, my sister explained it to me. It's a cracked phone or a cracked TV. Because if you see when it comes on and it says Black Mirror, it's always cracked glass and there's like a shard. And a lot of episodes, there's the one dude who puts a shard of glass up to his neck. It's all technology. It's majority of it is technology based. So it actually, like, I don't know. That's why I like the show. Those got some meanings. So
Yeah, we've watched it.
I've not.
you guys like it? I loved Black Mirror.
I like it.
I'm behind the times here a little bit.
Okay, so on this, let me segue between disaster movies and these nanobots. Bigger. So it's like a robot dog. It's first off, the whole episode's black and white, and it's this world where these 3 people are trying to get some resources, and they find a little robot dog that's relentless, and it just pursues them, and it like releases some shrapnel that gets into you, so it can track you from the shrapnel, and it just pursues you. Pretty fucking crazy. Good episode. I like your response.
It just sounds like something I would not want.
Very good. What would you do if the San Andreas fault line happened right now, splitting California into 2
well,
spots?
I would die.
Probably, I don't want that to happen. So final answer.
I mean, look, in any case, I'm going to be high.
What if you were dropped in fucking Kansas and twisters started appearing?
As long
I
as I
wouldn't be
have
in
weed, I don't give a
Kansas.
shit. You know what I mean?
You can't get a light. It's a. It keeps blowing
No,
out
I'm
your
just sitting
lighter.
there standing my ground trying to light it, and the wind it keeps blowing my lighter out.
You run into it to be in the eye of the storm and fucking.
Fuck it all! Right as I'm lifting off, I light the joint.
Yeah.
And I'm like, alright, got it.
I'm
Smoke till I die.
Literally. I'm imagining the fucking Wizard of Oz tornado, like when you see the house and everything, and there's you just like smoking in the.
I'm just sitting on a recliner, just fucking hitting a bong.
Fuck it. No regrets.
I wish I were stoned. I wish I were stoned.
That was actually good. That was a good one. Okay, I'll give you that one. That was very good.
That one worked. But yeah, man, if there was no electricity, for
Yeah.
real.
How would you really? I think fire is a good source. What's your, like, first thing that you would try and get?
Probably canned foods. Like things that would last a long time. The sweet sound of Bud Ice.
Oh yeah, we ain't fancy.
Well, you're not. I only drink Mountain Dew, so
Yeah, drink that Mountain Dew with your pinky up because you're fancy. Nah,
I do.
Stacy's just over here slamming her phone for no reason.
I'm so sorry.
You're good. It's just funny. But so you go for canned foods first,
Yeah,
But you can't-
foods that would last
but you can't
like a long time.
heat them up.
Well, I mean, most canned foods you usually don't have to.
So I feel though, if you have access to fire, you now have a weapon to obtain said canned foods, and now you can eat those canned foods. I probably won't have to eat the first night with no electricity, if you think about it. You can probably make it. But you are going to need food. Yeah, I think fire, I'd make torches, I'd find wax candles or make them, and
I mean, honestly, I'd board up my house. Just because, like, you want to have shelter, regardless whether you have electricity or not.
so what are people going to rob you for? You know?
Who knows? Because nobody knows if the power's going to come back on or not.
I guess that's true too.
You know, so they could just be looting to loot, whether, even if it doesn't come back on.
Oh, I'm so stupid. I said fire. You go to the most important thing. Porno shop, get some mags. First things first, you need some entertainment.
Taking things where nobody's taken them before.
There's some people who are like, oh man, I can't believe you said that on podcast, but good answer. It's up there, Steve. It's up there.
I mean, nowadays you gotta think all these dispensaries, man, all these weed shops. People are gonna be looting for fucking weed and shit.
But yeah, like what if you went to like somebody you knew had a grow up? They're gonna be waiting for people like you to come and show up and try and get
Yeah,
them.
they're gonna have guns and shit.
So I feel like that's like hopping a fence of a neighbor or something compared to
I don't know. There was
spot.
actually a story online that I came across earlier. I didn't actually read it, but I skimmed it, and it was talking about how there were a couple of dispensaries in California were actually broken into and robbed.
Oh yeah,
There were like 3 of them or something.
big time. In fact, I think that there was some in Fresno that claimed to be robbed. Fucking shady. They stole their own shit, broke something.
Yeah.
Like through the ceiling. I think I heard something.
Been playing a little bit too much GTA 5 there.
I've never actually gotten too down on that, but I mean,
I've beaten that game like 8 times since it came out.
that's what's up.
Yeah, I don't know. I get swept away in it, man.
I just beat that good old Days Gone for the second time. The zombie one. Fucking great game.
Oh yeah, you were telling me you were playing that.
Yeah, they do have electricity, but gas. The reason I said fire and shit is because gasoline is such an important resource in that game because you make like Molotovs and all these like fire bombs for the zombie hordes that come after you and shit. You take out a whole bunch
Yeah,
at
it'd
once.
be a lot of running around and siphoning gas tanks and shit.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, seriously, dude, if you went out and came back with hella gasoline and shit, and you had a whole bunch of like fucking candles, you can put them all together or melt some shit that's plasticky or whatever into, I don't know how wax works. You melt shit that makes wax and then you can make a big fat ass candle and it'll just last forever.
Crayons.
Boom.
Yeah, just get a lot of crayons and melt them together.
Right, like a 64 box, you are good. Or you can like make them little like little firecrackers, little weapons. You just light them all up. Yeah, hell yeah. Oh shit. So, are we going to extend this because we're coming up on like 5 minutes? But I was gonna say we still have Killdozer left. Do we want to save Killdozer for another episode? Jesus Christ, I'm burping up.
Wow, all day.
Yeah.
No, I think we could bring Killdozer in on another episode. I think
Okay.
that would be good.
Well, then, with that being said, last night I watched hella dope-ass YouTube videos about the last supposedly ninja that exists in Japan. And when we were talking about how somebody's building, like, making a school for it, he's doing it because he was saying, like, all the masters or whatever, they don't train ninjutsu because it's not practical anymore. Because it's more about spying, it's all espionage more than attacking and killing and fighting. They want to avoid all that shit. So he was talking about it all. And the dopest part is, this dude's old school. He lives in the mountains. He'll go to the town for resources and stuff. But he lives out there. He doesn't watch shit. He has electricity. But he's not, like, on all the nonsense new stuff. So this girl who does these interviews, she goes there and she shows him 3 different clips of Naruto fight scenes and shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Check this out. So she shows him, because the little hand gestures that they do, he was like, that's cool, but it's stupid. And she's like, so somebody can't make fire? He just looks at her like a fucking idiot. Like the question was,
he's all just like moving his fingers together like in Naruto, and then all of a sudden he's like, is this your card?
light that bowl. So he does those gestures, but he said that what it is it's more like a prayer to have protection, like from Buddha.
Yeah.
And so those signs are actually real. Obviously, they aren't for attacking. It's, if anything, it's for defense. And then when she showed him the Naruto run, because that was like the basis of the interview that they wanted to get to, and then he looked at it and he's like, oh, okay. And she looked at him like, what? And he was all, yeah, that's accurate. That's pretty good. It's exaggerated, but he's like, that's pretty much right. And she was just fucking flabbergasted because he was explaining it, and how I was telling you guys, it's true. It's because you can't run with this sword. It fucking flops.
No, absolutely.
So he was explaining it, and another thing he was saying is not only how you step with your foot, but he was saying that you move the arm and the leg on the same side at the same time because it uses less energy, makes less noise, and you can like creep better. And it's like,
so basically,
it's legit.
what you
That was
just
actually real.
what you just explained to me is that you're gonna lose the beer gut, move to Japan, and learn karate.
oh, silly John, ninjutsu. But no, I just liked the video. It was very interesting because of the topic. That
I mean, I
just
know
talked
your
about
aspirations in life is to become a Ninja Turtle, so you're halfway there.
Actually, to be involved in a Ninja Turtle project, fucking 100% serious. Yes. But to become one, I'm good. I kind of like. I'm good. I censored myself.
They'd be all like Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael. What was the other one that I'm forgetting? Leonardo.
Yeah, Leonardo.
You'd be Play-Doh.
Because not Play-Doh, Play-Doh. Dough boy. Oh, big old tub.
Yeah.
I got you. Tub got.
Yeah, right? Right? It's pretty good.
Nah.
Anyway, make sure you guys check us out on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube, share us with your friends, your family, not your children. This show is not good for that. And make sure you guys check back with us on our page for tips, updates, and more. I'm going to start posting more shit to Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely should.
absolutely. We're going to start taking more background pictures and things for people to check out.
And for next episode, Killdozer.
Yes, a tank of a
Yes.
thing.
It's real. Either look it up or stay tuned. Fuck it, do both.
Yeah, right?
It's an awesome story for us.
And let us know what you think. But with that, we're all out of time for tonight. So, from all of us here at CannaBase Radio Show, thank you for being here. And remember, stay frosty. Good night, everybody.